So, reverse roundhouse kick, or Oran Washgary as we call it, is another tough kick, but it can look absolutely awesome and it's really, really good for kumite once you know how to do it. Hello, and if you've just joined us, welcome to the Norwich Karate Academy YouTube channel. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back and thank you very much for subscribing and watching this video. Now, the whole point behind this video is to give you some simple tips to how to improve your reverse roundhouse kick and a couple of ideas that you might be able to use in kumite. And we did actually cover this in one of our other videos, which you can check out now. It was one that we talked about common errors that happen in certain kicks, and reverse roundhouse kick was one of them. So if you haven't seen that, go and check it out now and then come back and you'll see exactly what we've got to do now to make your reverse roundhouse kick look awesome. So the first tip is to try and get used to performing the kick at a lower height. One, this means you don't have to worry about balance, and two, it avoids injury just so you don't get a bit too ambitious and if something goes wrong while you're trying to kick really hard. So, using a belt, keeping your belt out in front of you, this can replicate a guard, holding onto the wall. You're lifting your knee straight up to the side. Okay, you don't want to come all the way across. You make sure your knee is fairly close to the belt. But what you're doing is you're thinking almost like you're doing a bad side thrust kick. So instead of kicking straight out in front of you, you're kicking at a slight angle whilst also twisting your base foot. And what happens is at this point, my hamstring or the back of my leg is fairly close to the belt. And as you can see, I'm kicking very low. And it's just making sure that you, one, get used to keeping your arm still without moving it around, and two, simply practicing extending your leg but keeping the back of your leg close to the belt. And now the last and final tip is to think, when you do the kick, is to think curl your toes around the belt. Don't swing your whole leg around the belt. So there are two differences here. If I was to try and curl my whole leg around the belt, I end up going past the target and my foot comes round the other side of the belt, which then makes it harder for me to recover. So what you're trying to do is, once you've extended your leg, is think about your toes and think curl them round the belt and then return it back round. So you're thinking when you curl your toes, your leg relaxes and your toes end up going round the belt. So then you have a nice curve action with your leg, which then completes the Oran Washigari, and then you can return your leg back. So it's repeating this movement, thinking extend your leg, but think curl your toes round the belt, then you can recover and bring your leg back round. And gradually you can start speeding this up so that your leg extends and you curve. And keep doing this action until eventually, as soon as your leg is just about to extend, you can curve your foot. So it's rather than going to here and then trying to curve your foot, it's pretty much just before you extend your leg, you're then thinking curve your foot round, and this is where you have that nice shape for an Oran Washigari every single time. And it's making sure that every time when you curl your foot round the belt, you return it back to normal so you have a good recovery and you put your foot down. So once you start getting used to the motion of the kick and understanding how to get that nice little curve in your leg when it comes to reverse roundhouse kick, you can gradually start increasing the height. One thing you don't want to do, try to avoid swinging your leg up for momentum. Because if you swing your leg up, one, you're not showing any control behind the kick, and two, you're not showing the technique. It's making sure that if you do want to increase the height, you gradually start lower and build up whilst maintaining your technique. So to kick nice and high, make sure you twist that base foot as you extend your leg, and then you simply curl your foot around the belt before then recovering, and you repeat this process and gradually speed it up so that eventually, once you're at a good height for the kick, you're twisting your base foot, and just before you extend, you have that nice little curve at the end. It's making sure you relax your leg before you extend to get that nice whip at the very end of the kick, rather than holding your leg out and making it stiff. Once your leg comes up, think extend and relax. Think about that nice little curve at the end of the kick, while twisting your base foot and making sure you recover every single time. If you want this really good exercise, start nice and low, go to the middle, and then go nice and high. The next best thing you can do is do the belt exercise but in a stance with your guard. Now what that's going to do is make you think about the position of your arm. If you don't change your arm as you should for a reverse roundhouse kick, you're going to find yourself in a very awkward position and the belt is going to be in the wrong place. So like, especially in the washigari roundhouse kick, you've got to make sure you have a change of your arms so that your body is in the correct position in order for you to execute the kick. But at the same time, you're going to think about keeping your belt where it should be. Like we said before, starting nice and low first, get that knee raised nice and simple, extending the leg, keeping the back of your leg close to the belt. Think curl your toes around the belt before you recover and step forward. So it's almost like this is like an obstruction that you've got to work around. And then you can gradually build up the height and gradually build up the speed. The final part is to then be able to do it without the belt. But if you envision yourself holding onto a belt or having something in front of you to work around your kick, you're really going to nail how a reverse roundhouse kick should look. So, like I said before, make sure when you go to kick with your back leg especially, don't use momentum and swing your leg round, because that's where you're going to lose your balance, and if it does go wrong, you are going to injure yourself. As well as that, having that sort of kick isn't going to enable you to have that good control when it comes to a kick, especially in sparring. So once you've got used to doing this without a belt, make sure you think about the important change of the arms and then envision that you've got a belt in front of you before curving your foot around the belt. And then this way, you're going to find that doing the old washigari is actually going to be so much easier once you think curl your toe. That's the important bit. Think curl your toes round the belt. That is going to be the bit that's going to get that nice little curve when you kick, and it enables you to still snap your leg back when you do the old washigari without having this continuous feeling. Obviously, that sort of kick is a known kick, basically almost like a hook kick, but when you do this kick, it's making sure you recover. Not swing your leg all the way around this way, it's making sure you have that nice little curve so you control your leg every single time. And make sure you practice with both legs so you get good kicking with both legs. So reverse roundhouse kick can actually be quite an enjoyable kick once you get it right. But for now, a big thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have watched this video and are not yet subscribing, please click the subscribe button and also like this video. Your support would be very much appreciated. Until next time, see you later.